This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in this session, so we'll know I will cover all these topics as part of this demo, like what is middleware and why do we use it, and so also the role of CPI, like why it has such famous name and like its usage in the current market, and so also the like I will give some examples of the current on-premise and cloud applications that are used widely as part of CPI integration. And also I will give you a quick walkthrough of the other applications middleware tools. Like we do have few other tools like why SAP CPI has why it is having more grasping more interest by any customers. And also some integration business scenarios that are used widely in the SAP integration. So I'll just give a quick walkthrough. And also the cloud service models we do have, and so basically the difference between PIPO and why everybody is migrating from PI to PIPO to CPI, and so adapters that we do have in the SAP CPI currently, and which are used widely. So we'll cover these topics, and also the what are the basic key components of CPI, SAP CPI Web IDE. So I'll just give a walkthrough of all these things as part of this session. And if you have any questions, with respect to the slide, you can ask me. If you have any other, anything majorly, so we can have it at the end of the session, team.
Yeah, I have one question from my end.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, can we touch interfaces of SuccessFactors and S4HANA, including this? I mean, how to flow the data and how to manage that interfaces, that type of.
Yes, success factors is covered, and HANA, if it is, if it is required, I would add it as well. So, as part of, not in, as part of this session, but with the course, we can give a walkthrough. Uh, as
And
well.
also, some companies asked BTP as well. So, what about BTP? I don't know BTP. Could you please introduce what the BTP and how to use that BTP in the CPA, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure. That we will cover. So, like being a CPI developer, we use the designer. We have few components in CPI. So mostly we go with the designer. We'll work with the designer window itself, and we'll do the integration between one of the some source and target using the adapters, and we do perform the message mapping and all the other operations. So sometimes if you have a project has the requirement of APIs, so we have SAP has provided APIs also. And if you don't have the adapters existing to connect to our source or target system, so we have open connectors also. And BTP, right? So it is a not, it is a whatever you have asked, right? So it is basically can one has more dependency to integrate some completely different. So whatever we are going to do, we are gonna do with the designer, and so that will be with most of the time it is with some third party systems and success factors, OData, HTTPS. So these are the adapters we do work on mostly. So that basically depends upon the project you are in, and also the like the systems that are used by ERP systems used by the client, your customer, like what systems they are going to use. Yes.
And also, can we go through that PAPO adapters as well? I mean, the second point you told me, na, SAP CPA versus SAP PAPO. So that's why I'm asking you. Can we cover SAP PAPO adapters as well, including CPA?
So like basically I will just give you a like overview like what all I was aware. So basically I was completely into CPI, but I do have some like knowledge in PIPO. Like I mean to brief you about I mean what was not there and what has been here and on what scenarios it's gonna used. So that I gonna cover as part of the slides. Yes,
Yeah. Thank you. That's it, myself.
yeah. Okay. So basically, this middleware is a like if you want to communicate like two between two applications, we do require one middleware. So basically, like the customers, if you want to connect to a source system, so they are they don't want to access. I mean, give access to their system directly. So it was like so it's their secure system, right? So they don't want to uh, take in their data by someone or like some attackers or something. So what they're gonna do, like they're gonna provide us some URL access like for some time being, or like we gonna like they will use some IP to us, so we need to whitelist it and we need to access it and we need to get the information. And some cases so the customers, right? So basically let me take example of some retail system. So we have we go to a store like usually let us take some example of some more, like we do visit the store and we do buy something and we do get the receipt, and so that data is getting stored like by POS machine to some database. So like here I'm not sure about like how they are going to use it, but if when you see in like US or UK, like I mean any retail which has a wide like a large scale, so they go with the like SAP, like they do store their data in the like SAP databases like HANA or like ECC, and from there they want to like see their data like after few years they want to see like how the data got transformed, and like they want to see in a business business way, so like how what was the sales that was happened between some these many years, like what was the profit, what was the losses. So all those data like at the financial year end, so if they want to look back, so on such cases they want to see the data, like how they build some dashboards and reports like using some SAP BO or like any other reporting tools, and they look back at the business. In the same way, this CPI, right? So some like client data, some user data, like some from on-premise applications or cloud applications. So that data will be getting in the source format, and that we will be transforming into the like as per the receiver format using the middleware. We do have I mean in PI or CPI, like we have a graphical mapping. So using it we do perform the message mapping, and like we do create iFlow, and that's how we integrate the data between like two different applications. So let me go to the next slide. So here you can see like basically when we can use SAP PI, and when we go with the SAP CPI. So I mean SAP PI is it's been there from like very long time, like almost like between 16 to 20 years, and so like it is used majorly for on-premise to on-premise scenarios. So if you wanna do like cloud integration, like that cannot be achieved with SAP So where we can integrate cloud applications and cloud third party solutions as well. So both this CPI and PI are SAP products only, whereas like this CPI runs on a camel framework, and like it runs in the cloud, whereas like PIPO, it's like basically on-premise application, so you have to access it using the application only. And like PO has few limitations, like it cannot connect to, I mean, if you go with the CPI, you can connect to all these cloud applications as well. So that is one of the added advantage with the CPI. And let me give some examples of the um, on cloud and on premise applications. So basically, so have you heard about field glass? Like any of you, have you ever used it for filling the timesheet, uh, like in your organization?
Yeah. I know Phil less about
Yes,
this for
yes.
contact.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, so like we do fill the timesheet right on a weekly basis, and so it will get stored somewhere in the cloud. And if you want, we want the data, I mean, suppose consider that is some like customer data, and we have to access the field glass, and we need to get the data, and we need to do some message mapping, and we need to send it to some receiver, the customer he wants to store to get stored in some database, or like sometimes he will ask with the like SFTP, like he want to place that information somewhere. So like again, as is the data is like he want like security, so he would request us to do some encryption and decryption. So that is one case. And also like have you I mean, anybody of you visited some, I mean, as part of the like went to client location and claim the claims that you travel claims or any other claims in the SAP Concur?
Yes.
So yeah, so in the same way, like how like we used field glass, so Concur is also like cloud application where you can submit the claims, and so we can integrate that system as well, and we can do the cloud integration with the CPI. And also success factors, like we have some employees, and like success factors, it's completely I mean, it's a very unique subject again. Like see, whatever we are talking about CPI, so in CPI we have two things: CPI PI and CPI DS. So when we see about success factors, it's completely like it's in the integration is completely different. Like it has some around some 20 modules in like employee domain. So we are not going to touch all those things, but like we do have a adapter like for success factors to integrate the data. So as part of this course, we'll be covering that, and like what are the issues that we're gonna face during integration. So those things are covered as part of this course. And so like that, we have other applications also, like SAP HANA. So like I mean, these days HANA is getting used widely. So I do have less I mean not worked majorly with HANA, but like to cover this course, I would I mean give some examples, and so we'll try to see some standard flows as well, so in order to like use it in our own project scenario. And we can integrate some third party cloud solutions like Azure or AWS, Amazon Workspace, so we can connect to these cloud applications as well. So when it comes to premise applications, right? So so yeah, so if your requirement is completely into premise, so that case I mean, such cases PI used, PIPO is used. So I mean, as the customers as it is been there for 20 years and customers are habituated using it. So this PIPO, right? So it is gonna be there till the next 4 to 5 years. So SF will be supporting this till 2027. Like as of now, that's what they have addressed. And so that's where like customers are migrating from PI to CPI. And so after this, what gonna happen? So like if there are any some tickets raised like for SAP, they are not gonna take the ownership, because like PIPO landscape, it is related to customer. I mean, customer has to is responsible for everything, to maintain his system, his client system. So whereas is SAP, like everything is automated, and it is basically a subscription, like kind of subscription, like we need to subscribe it, so like everything is taken care by the SAP. So coming to the on-premise application examples, you can consider SAP HANA or SAP ECC, and like few other third-party legacy systems for on-premise. But as far as I know, like S4 HANA or like SAP ECC, like these are the systems we do use it widely. And would after performing some message mapping, receiver side will have like either SFTP or some like we can, I mean, sometimes we'll have mail. Most of the times the customer wants their data by mail itself, so they want the data like maybe on a daily or weekly or like their own, based on scenario we do, like that's how we do the integration. And we do perform the uh, iflow creation. So so as I mentioned, apart from integration, like apart from SAP, we have other middleware tools also. Like we have MuleSoft, and we have Delbumi, and we have few other middleware tools. But why, I mean, most of the customers are interested towards the CPI. It is because like which I have already covered, like given example. So I mean, everybody wants their data like in a like secured way, in not I mean, not accessed by anyone or like attackers. So I mean, like everywhere, I mean, apart from here, so like in US or UK or any retail stores or any organizations, SAP is used for HANA is used for storing the data in a secured way. So that's where, and so that's where I mean, SAP is PIPO, as is already there. And like there are very wide range of customers from 15 to 20 years. So they were habituated to it, like even now, for premise scenarios, like on premise to on premise. So we go with the PIPO only. But as we have this case, as we won't get the support from the SAP, or we have to take care of the issues that are occurred. So that's where everybody is getting migrated. And this is like a survey, like conducted in LinkedIn, like how many customers are interested towards the middleware tools. Everybody is able to hear me, or like anybody's having some issues.
Nothing. We are good. Well,
Okay. So I mean, as I mentioned, I mean, so actually I was giving everything. I mean, not covering as part of this slide. I was mentioning it before itself. So okay. So why do we need integration? So to communicate between two systems, like to exchange some data from one application to other application, or to do some validations, or uh, like um, like to, I mean, to make sure that basically receiver, sorry, the customer, like the end user, as per his expected criteria. So we do perform the message mapping, and we do convert the incoming payload data as per his requirement. Sometimes, I mean, most of the cases, like data will be like idoc or CSV, or even sometimes it can be other formats also. So sometimes like data we do receive in O data, like if it is the case of OData, we do get a like URL, and like that's where we get all the data. Like from that URL itself, we can access the XSD structures and EDMX structures. So those structures along with the data, and we can configure that OData using like OData adapter URL, and like we can get perform the message mapping. And if the case of SFTP, will be provided with some host name or server details along with the authentication. If somebody has worked in PIPO, they might be already aware, like we'll be provided with some credentials, or some cert. Here we do use certificates. I think in PIPO we have fingerprint authentication, and two more authentications. So that is the case of SFTP. And like other adapters like HTTPS, like it is direct, like we do get the URL, and so that's how we do access it. There is a adapter for HTTPS. Here HTTPS or REST soap, API. I mean, we have soap adapter as well for soap scenarios, and for success factors we have one separate adapter. And so like these are the adapters that I have worked. So I'm just addressing about those things. And so what else, so that's where we need integration. So that's the role of CPI. And so like as part of this course, I will walk you through these cases, as I mentioned, like HANA, and also like OData, and APIs. So APIs, like basically, so this is also again existing APIs only. We do usually configure them at the source side, and we do message mapping, and as per the receiver the customer criteria, we do perform the message mapping. So but some cases, we need to do some operations with the APIs. Like we need to, sometimes we need to get, or we need to post, we do need to do some crude operations as part of OData. So that we'll cover as part of this course. And cloud service models. So like before, so our CPI, basically it's a pass basically platform as a service. Almost like most of the middlewares now are platform as a service, where we can use them within cloud and on-premise systems. So like whatever the middleware tools that we have covered earlier in the earlier slides, so like CPI, Delboom, MuleSoft, so all these were platform as a service based. And so what is the case of we have other two more cases also, like software as a service, where success factors, Ariba, and Conquer, these are like basically licensed, and they are mostly they are into cloud. So that's where we call it as a software as a service. And also infrastructure as we have infrastructure as a service, where everything completely it is into cloud. And we can take an example of Amazon Web Service and Azure. So these things we can call it as under infrastructure as a service. And so I think with the next slide, we'll have some understanding of the usage by the customers, CPI, like why even if you see at the cost revenue side. So if any end of the financial year, even customers, they want to reduce the cost cuttings in terms of, maybe in terms of resources, or maybe in terms of infrastructure, or there are other cases. So like that's where like I mean, even as part of this migration from pivot to CPI, like we can do some cost cutting. I mean, if you have to maintain it like ourselves, the customer, like he has to maintain like few resources, and like we'll be not getting support from the SAP, and whereas the CPI, it is as it is subscription based, so whatever it is required, so like we'll be accessing that part alone. So meaning what I'm trying to say, if it is in case of PO, like it is a like product license and annual fees, like we need to pay it annually, like we'll not have something like subscription or some I mean, what I mean to say, you have you're going to some movie, so you're gonna pay some, I mean, some, you do some amount in order to watch the movie. So you don't want to see, I mean, that's how we watch the movie. I'm just giving an example. So that is the case of PO. Like whereas the CPI, okay, you already, I mean, watched it couple of times, and you know the actual scenario, and you want to see some part of the movie, or just want to go on a climax. That is not possible. You want to watch the complete movie. So that's where it is with Pivo. Like whereas in CPI, it will be it's kind of subscription. So it will allow you, if you are subscribed to it, like you can utilize like wherever you want to go and see it, you can see it. So basically, you can ignore this example, I mean, to make you understand. So I have given this example. And also as I mentioned earlier, so if you got some issues, or if the deployment issues, or any upgrades were there, so that times SAP is not going to provide support to PIPO in whenever like we have got the updates, like we can see it in some window, any new something's newly implemented, or some new adapters that came as per the customer request, or like if some new features or new add-ons, those things we can find from the discover window. Like there it will be displayed what are all, if you are following on a daily basis, you can get those information. And also the advanced feature of CPI is so everything is already there. So like if it's a PIPO, you have to create message type, data type, and to create an ICO, we have some set of things that we must follow. Whereas in case of CPI, we just gonna go for the package, and we need to create it. And so we can just create an iFlow as per our scenario, and we can quickly use the palette options, and sender receiver, and we can it is where the establishing the connection. So that's where you generally, like if there is any basis team in your company, so we usually raise a ticket with them, and by sharing all the details that we have, that we have got a host name, or credentials and certificates, all those information, we'll share it with them. And so they, after they establishing the connection, they used to share us the location ID. Cloud connector plays a vital role here in connecting the on-premise applications in CPI. And we have we have two types of iFlows here. Like one is standard iFlow, and customized iFlow in CPI. So where customer iFlows are you need to, I mean, based on our use case and customer requirement criteria. So we do go with the custom iFlows. And when we go for standard iFlows are there are SAP itself provides a few integrate a few scenarios that are already used widely, and for some getting some currency rates, or as I mentioned, Concur integration. So such on cloud applications, so there are already packages available, and we can use it in our tenant. And so if we make some changes to the existing that standard iflow, I mean what I'm trying to say is like again in that we have two types, like one is configurable and like one is editable, configurable only, and the other one is editable. If there are something editable, you can add that package to your tenant and you can make changes like whatever you want. But again, one thing is like here, you are not going to get the updates like from the SAP to that editable package, so that you need to take care again. And it's a case of configure only. So like if there are any changes or any like new versions to the type flow, that will be automatically updated by the SAP in your tenant. So that's where like CPI and PI like exist. And also, like as I mentioned, like it is with on-premise and on-premise to on-premise scenarios only, we go with the cloud process orchestration. And if it is, I mean if it is a cloud, so we'll go with the cloud platform integration. um, I hope like you have got some understanding of basically the major use case and business difference between PIPO and CPI. So next we'll cover the components of CPI web ID. So these are the three components, like basically as I mentioned, design is where like we gonna access it, and we do build the custom iflows ourselves based on the criteria, customer criteria, or any use case that is addressed to us in order to build any interface. And discover is where we do get all these pre-packaged content and packages that are already there in the SAP. So all you need to know is like I mean basically what I'm trying to say is like like anybody can learn it easily and quick adaptive, and anybody can perform. Like all you need to know is like you need to know the configurations and like that use cases basically. So once you have used it, so like you will be known to it, like there is nothing new in the configuring other standard iflow. So after we have monitor. So this is where after running our here we in order to run it right, so in the design tab we have deploy option. So will be accepted by the your peer. And also we need to create some TSD, technical specification document, before building any interface. So we need to get it approved, and on then only we need to go with the interface creation. Else what they're gonna do, they're gonna you need to spend additional effort, and if they are not okay with what you have built, you need to again rework it. So it is always better to get it get the TSD like freezed and get it reviewed, and then start with the iflow creation. And we have environments like by default, like we will have two environments, like test and prod. So if we have, I mean if the customer wants like few more environments, like we need to subscribe, and we need to create the sub account level. Sometimes it will be like even we want to dev, test, pre-prod, and then prods. So like 4 5 environments. So that case, I mean it is based, it again based on the use case, and it is based on the customer, based on his criteria only, we maintain different environments or different sub accounts. So if anybody who has worked in PIPO, we're gonna use the same message mapping here, and we'll have graphical, I mean apart from graphical mapping, we have XSST mapping and Java mapping also. But most of the cases, like we can achieve everything using graphical mapping. it is very rare that we go with the other mappings. But again, if I do work with most of the time with graphical mapping, but I can give a walkthrough how to use other mapping. And we do have, if somebody who is not aware of other mappings also, we do have something called these standard iflows. That's where we can see, and we'll have the nodes, some nodes also, and in the package itself, like why it is used and on what use case they have built this iflow. So after that, monitoring. So these are all to give a overview, I'm just covering these three things. And again, if I start about each thing, again we need to sit, and there are many things to cover in this discover, design, and monitor. So those things we'll cover in the coming sessions. And we can go through this tree diagram, like how so basically first will if any use case, any iflow that we are gonna build it. So before we'll just we'll have the tst created, and we'll get it reviewed, and we'll give some time in order to, we'll commit some time in order to complete that iflow. And we'll see existing any standard packages can help us, or we can check some blogs in order to make the create establish the connection between the to the source from our middleware tool. So once we are known it, so then we'll get the details from the source side functional team, as I mentioned, so if it is sftp host name, or if it is odata, the existing api url, and all other credential details, we do get it, and we do raise a basis ticket. And that's so after we got the connection established, so we'll if it is a custom flow, so then we'll go with the design tab, and we'll use the existing palette functions and palette options, and we make our use case work. And so after initial version of iflow, so we will then we need to run deploy it basically, and we need to see after deploying basically, meaning deploying basically call like running. So here, so after deploying it, we'll see the monitor in the monitor tab. And the monitor again will have like we have few modes in the for seeing the iflow. Like we have some trace mode, info, and we have several set of modes that will cover it. And but we'll cover trace mode. So it is if we want to test some interface, and at every step, each step, if you want to see how the the message from the source is flowing till end of the step, so that can be achieved using a trace mode, and it lasts for 10 minutes. And so you can see in a very detailed way, even if you have made some mistake also, if you're not able to identify the root cause of some error in the info mode, you can get it using the trace mode. We can do some and as I mentioned, so here we have these are the adapters that are provided by default, that are provided by in the SAP as part of CPI, like HTTPS, SOAP, OData, and SFTP, email, and success factors, IDOC. It is the case of ECC, and we can connect to Facebook and Twitter as well. So basically these are the use cases, and whatever the integration that we're gonna do. So it is mostly it is at the source side, because as we are connecting to, basically we are connecting some on cloud and on premise applications. So most of the times the source side will have the cloud application, and the receiver side will have the premise application. And so I will give you the actual case of sometimes, as I mentioned, receiver is not capable. So meaning okay, you have got some source as a, so you need to configure success factors, and we have made the connection established. And so for the receiver side, we are not able to establish the connection to the receiver. So such cases, what we gonna do, So after performing the, I mean, after converting to the like expected receiver format by the end user, like we'll generate I mean we'll generate some file, and the data we will convert it to the file, and we'll place it in some SFTP folder. So from there, like the end user system, like I mean, it is from there it is responsible from by the receiver side team, functional team, to take ownership of that data, and like again they will configure it as some, from their application they will take that file and they will process it to their like end user environment or target system. So like that's where like these are the several adapters in CPI. And yeah, so I think I have covered I mean my intention is clear. So like so I mean I have cleared like what all things that I'm going to like I mean few things only I have covered as part of this presentation. I will just go through the walk you through the index, like what everything, all the things that we are going to cover as part of this complete course post this PPT session. And who are all who all can learn this tool. So who are already like in other SAP like middleware tools, or like other SAP applications, and they like based on their client request, or like based on their interest or any other factors, they can learn. And also who are keen towards interested towards the middleware, so they also can learn it. And also I mean some freshers, like if you are already, I mean better would be like if you have already joined in some organization and you have some experience at least, and so they can learn. So whereas like bachelors like who are, I mean recently passed out, right, they do get the opportunities, but they have to prove themselves. I mean, experience is what matters at the end of the day. So seeing that only, we do get the opportunities with most of the organizations. So. So yeah, guys. I mean, these are the a few things that I want to cover as part of this session. And so I know I will have a few more doubts, but like from my side, I will cover. So as I mentioned, like BTP, right? It is completely like again, like if you wanna build some applications. So that case we go for BTP. So our use cases are most of the time, I mean as I mentioned, I worked on like CPI PI. So we do integrate some one of the existing on cloud or on premise source system to that receiver side system, and we do perform the message mapping. And so such cases like we go with the designer. So most of the time being a CPI developer, we use that designer window only. So but still I will like as like few, I mean it is not that case like everybody has to use go with that case only. But based on our project, we do require like to create like APIs, or like we need to do test the APIs. So I will give some information, like I mean give some walkthrough about that APIs also, like how we gonna test that APIs using sandbox. And so I gonna cover that also. But my like priority would be like covering what are the things, what all the adapters we have, and what all integrations we can do with CPA, and what are each and every palette function that exist in like CPI like till now. So I will try to cover every palette function. And connectors also to connect to like few of the like cloud systems. So I will gonna walk through in the coming sessions in detail. So so next we'll go to the like index. I will give index overview, like what all we're gonna cover.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Balram Amitav here. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and that time I had a problem with my headset. So I'm basically an
Yeah.
app developer in different modules I have worked into. But I out of my interest and out of this thing now my organizational need, I feel to learn CPI. So if a use case, because I'm working on an interface with some of other organization, is like that uh, my client will send me a data through some their interface. I need to receive, then manipulate, and then create XLS or CSV file into my application layer. From there, rest of the ABAP programs in batch job that it will pick up. Now the problem things are like to connect, to segregate, to create data. I After this course I would be able to do it, right?
Yes, Amit. So as I mentioned earlier, so see here itself, we have such cases like as I mentioned earlier. So I mean, few of the scenarios like systems we cannot integrate directly. So such cases, right, we go with the SFTP, and so we do place the file there, and like from there, so you told, right, your other system, like suppose like from you have some A application as your primary application. So from there you will place the data in SFTP folder, and from there you can connect to CPI, and you can take that file and you can convert it to XML or any other format that is required after the message mapping. And yes, after this course, you will be able to achieve that, Amit.
Yeah. Okay. So in message mapping, I can put the conditions like what separator I want, and anything, any number, any date format I need to convert it to internal SAP internal format. Like anything, I can play with the data, and then I can place it with any location in any file format, right?
Yes, yes. If you want to play at the file level, right? So that time, so basically, again, yeah, that is with the adapter. I mean, after the file got placed, so using that adapter, that file adapter, and basically SFTP or FTP adapter, using that you can play it at that level. And if you want to do at the data level, right, play at the data level, that can be achieved using the message mapping only.
Message mapping. Okay.
So yes,
Mapping file level, okay, I got it. And another thing is
yes.
like if it is what I'm talking about is staging, but continuous integration, as you talked about Salesforce, success factor Salesforce, or any other application I need to integrate with SAP continuously, then is also available. After this I would be able to do it, right?
Yes, you will be able to do, and also I mean, whatever the adapts that I gonna cover, right? Yeah, definitely, I will make sure you will be able to, and also as you mentioned, like other adapters or such cases, like at least I will give you some reference, to follow like some blog, or I'll give some reference like LinkedIn references, whom you can follow their blogs and see their use cases and their experiences. I will share few blogs also after this, and I will share few material for Groovy, and I do have prepared material to I mean to make sure I mean everybody someone few people learn listening to the conversation, or few people learn making practice on their own, or few people learn based on watching or going to the PPTs, or I mean most of the people are learn by themselves, referring to the SAP blogs. So I will try to make sure I will give the data from my side to the each and every case, specific case.
And what about the any practice server or anything like that to access, because these things are mostly cloud based, right? BAs, or how we would after your training or during training, how would we do our hands on experience, training? Hello, am I audible?
Or stuck somewhere, or then you can get back to me and have queries, and either you can if you are stuck in somewhere, we can get the based on that error, we can know the root cause from the SAP blogs, or still you are not able to face it, I will help you out. And this session, right, basically trying to cover I want to, basically the designer part, basically whoever want to learn the CPI. So I want to cover all the palette functions, and also the adapters that are used widely, commonly, and also the converters, and also migration. I am not gonna still the everything, still PI it's still there, and I will try to use some references towards the migration as well, PI pivot to CPI migration. And also this is where I have this is what I've covered as part of this index. And if you have some interest, definitely I can share you some give some Q&A tasks to you, so to practice yourself. And I can whatever we are I'm going to cover as part of this session, right? So we're gonna extend that trail account, keep on extending it to 365 days, so that you can use it for the reference, and you can refer those custom interfaces. And anyways, if it is a standard interfaces, right, we can directly refer them from any of the trail account, from that discover window. um,
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, thank you.
yeah, okay. So apart from this is a this is basically listed, this index is little last years, but from my side I will try to cover, as I mentioned, what are the common scenarios now, and what are the challenges that we're gonna face, each adapter, and how we can handle the alerts, um, and using exception sub process. And so all these things, I will cover in this course. And I just gonna you can I will just drag it down, and if you have any doubts, you can ask in this, in this session. I cannot say, because it's each topic has its own uniqueness, and we cannot cover everything in this session. So I will just give over to I will cover the introduction to the HANA Cloud integration. So what are the capabilities and architecture? So I think these things, few things I have already covered. I think these data centers, how many data centers we have, and what are the ways of secure communication from source to receiver. And so pre-packaged content, I think I've just given a addressed orally. In the coming sessions I will clearly show how we can access, and what all widely used pre-packaged contents. And also though we have these many tools, right, so we do use the cloud version only, web UI only. But I gonna just show that visually the other tools also. And I have covered basically the CPI, it is into camel message model, we do you use some dollars language in order to use some parameter. If you want to make some parameters in between, use some parameters, and add some variables in between. So in the content modifier, or any other content editor on this palette options, we use this camel expression language. And one more thing, so one major thing I have missed to address. So in CPI, right, so Groovy is the must thing. So in case of PIPO, right, I think you have already worked creating UDFs on your own using Java. So you use it to, how many of you are in from PIPO background? Out of you? So I heard, I think one, two only.
Yeah, I am from PAPO background.
So you might have used the UDFs, right? So using Java, like use it to like I mean most of the UDFs like you can get it from the Google, and you can do some trial and error analysis in the your dev environment, and you can achieve that or like or existing standard functions we can do it. So when it comes to CPI, right, like it is where Groovy. So if we have two scripts, like we have JavaScript and Groovy script, but I mean this Groovy is to the incoming payload, incoming source message. So we're gonna use the Groovy, and so that's where we have other, I mean, other functionalities like how will you use the UDF on your own use case. So that's how we need to write the Groovy in order to, I mean, make our iFlow work as per the customer criteria. So and again, like I gonna cover Groovy, like I mean, even like as part of my experience, so I have used Groovy. I have used some standard Groovy scripts only. From Groovy ID, we have a web page, so that's where we can test our Groovy scripts, and so we have some standard examples. So most of the time, like we can achieve, like, I mean, Groovy. Those Groovy would be enough for us. And like if you want to write Groovy at a complexity level, right? So that like we need to. I will share you some material for that Groovy. So based on your use case, you have to make your own Groovy, and or like you can take help of your like existing seniors in your organization, and you can build that Groovy. So basically, I'm mentioning now itself. So we're gonna cover Groovy, but not like I mean completely building an application completely used Groovy, and so it is again unique. So it is again as part of that your project scenarios, like most of the time, I mean nobody wants to again write the new Groovy, like everybody wants to like either go with some standard custom integrations which are already there as part of earlier releases, or like some we have standard iflows which are getting keep on updated configure only iflows. So we're gonna use them. And so apart from that, we're gonna use the converters. Like we have some 6 to 7 converters, like EDI to XML, and XML to EDI, and CSV to XML, and XML to CSV, JSON to XML, and uh, XML to JSON. So we have converters like this. We're gonna use it, and also like I'm gonna cover like value mapping, like message persistence, and so these things. And see like Groovy scripting and exceptional handling, so I gonna cover, but that is again like that gonna make you like out of that current situation. You can like whatever I gonna, it will be definitely useful whatever I'm going to cover, but again that is not with every use case. It is based on the use case, the complexity is more, or you have to built on your own. So better like to take like help of the team, and frame one standard Groovy script and use it at the like next releases also. And I'm gonna cover the adapters, and so these are basically monitoring, as part of monitoring security material, like where do we maintain the certificates, and where do we save that credentials, and like how we use it, and how we push from one environment to other environment. So we're gonna cover all these things. And so security wise, so I'm gonna cover like encryptor, decryptor, and we have the like few things in CPI. So PGP encryption basically. So how many level of encryptions we have. So we're gonna cover those things. And also we have yeah, this is information about the private key, public key, how we gonna maintain that certificates. And we have something called signer also, like so if that key matches, then only the message can be retrieved. And also apart from this, like how many calls we have, process call or looping process call, and events like start event or end event. Like we have some events. to be used in the integration process, and we're going to cover those things also. And like how to work with the like standardized flows, and like how to uh, push it to your tenant, and how to use them. So I'm going to give walkthrough of a few standardized flows also. And like if it is possible, like if I have access, I will give a walkthrough of my existing landscape at the end of the session. And also to make you in a like whoever are new, right? So I mean completely new to this CPI, and like who are keen to know, like along with the session I will share you some like recordings for your reference also. And also like what are the questions that are asked very often in the like organizations. I mean, as I'm changing the organization, right? So in like 1 or couple of months, so I have attended like some couple of interviews and number of interviews, so I do know like what all things can be asked. And so like in terms of things that are addressed, I mean expected from you in the interview or the panel sessions. And so I will cover those things also. And from here on, like I mean so we'll have a WhatsApp group created, and so for the batch, and we can I mean if you are joined somewhere also later point of time also, you can I mean maybe I will be in I mean help you, I mean not completely help you out, but I will address to you like to get out of any that scenarios. And I will share some other groups as well, so like where we have like a number of CPA consultants who can help you out to get started with any of the integration scenario that you are completely new. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much done from my side, and also like what all is covered also that I have covered already. So if you have I mean if you have some dependency with like completely, if your background is completely into APIs, that time I would not address you to I mean as this session it's completely for SAP CPA developer who gonna basically a middleware consultant. So that this session will help him out. And if you are the person who has gonna build some applications based on the B2B cockpit, so that is where like it is I mean I have not worked with such use cases in my past. Sorry, like are you able to hear me? Somebody has muted me. Hello, hello.
I mean, in the middle, we are missing for a fraction of seconds your voice. And, it's happening. It's reoccurring actually.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. Like I've just seen, so that's where I have addressed you. Like if you are like not able to hear, let me know. So I mean, from the last 10 minutes, I was addressing the this index only, nothing major. So what I'm trying to say is that's all I have done pretty much from my end. And so this course, right, it is only I mean useful for the who is keen to like move to CPA domain, or like from PIPO to CPA, or any other domain to CPI. So for them, I mean that again into CPI PI, like not into CPI DS, or like building applications in BTP. So that's where I mean that is I mean I'm not pretty much like worked on building the applications in B2P. As per my experience, this would be pretty much enough for a CPI consultant. So I hope you heard that conversation. Like I will share you the blog, and I will create the WhatsApp group, and also I will share the few recordings on questions of interviews that I have faced, and that are widely asked in the current times, guys. Hello.
What is the section timing after this course, after this class?
So that like you can check with subbu, like I mean based on the like count of persons. So based on like everybody's, I mean considering everybody's time, so it will be defined uh, SJ. So like at the end of the day, like Subbu will address you like what between what time it is, and so again it is not like that, right? So I mean, though I am a host, like even I mean everybody like should be able to attend the session in and their own convenient time, right? So keeping that in mind, we have parked it, and at the end of the day, based on the participants, and their availability, so we'll address your time. Uh, see. So you can consider it like between like 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes in a day. I mean, at least minimum 1 hour, and like some time for QA session, and sometimes for the next day what I'm gonna cover. So basically, in the next session, I'm gonna like uh, create show you how to create a trial account, and so also like you have to create based on that session. I would require each and of you to create your own trial account, so that from the first day itself anybody can practice on their own. It is not that like you can like yeah, make use of everything in the trial account, but some functionalities will work in trial account, some may not, but at least to see something visually, at least to see the standard eye flows, and to get started with the trial account. And so if you give me a minute, I will just open the trial account and show how. So basically, every 30 days you need to extend your trail account. Else, what is gonna happen? Automatically, it will be deleted. So if you are keep on extending your trail account, it will last for like 365 days. You can see like how many days it is left. I have already used few days, and like I have some 181 days. So looks like it is gonna take time. So if it is finished like within some 4 to 5 minutes, I will just like I mean not to keep the session like completely towards PPT. Like I will at least show like each window like designer and a design window monitor, and yeah, I think it is done. So so this is how Discover looks like. So whenever you open your tenant, so you can find like what all new things that are released by SAP. So those things you can track over here. So this is common, like even it's a trial account or it is a like purchased account. So you can see the updates here, and so these are all like existing uh, packages in the SAP. So you can see like it is editable or configurable, and like its version, like, and when it is published. And if you go to the artifacts, you can see you can see the iflows that are created. And so and also, so this is where the design window, so where you can create your iflow. Like apart from, I mean, you can give some details over here, some short description. I think it should be so. So once you have created it, you can access it from here. And so once it is created, it'll look like this. Here in the artifacts, we can refer it, and if you double click it, and we can open it. And again, we can export it. Like we have few modes of export. Like we have manual export, and we have CTS plus plus, and we have uh, several export options that I'm gonna cover in a like specific session. And so using the in the edit. So, and also we have some advanced feature, like you can recover, like if you are doing some integration, like you are trying. So in the coming sessions, I will cover like each and every palette option. So as I covered like events, how many events, like error event, start event, each has its their own use case. And we have ID mapping, operational mapping, accessibility, and message mapping in the CPI. And what are the calls, different calls we have. And like these are the generally use each and every step as part of our own use case. We do use every routing function, and also the encryptor and the decryptor and the signer that I have mentioned earlier. So this is all, like, again, if that customer, based on the customer criteria, so we go with the security. And so some data store operations, and what is persistence, and EDI validator, XML validator. So like these all the things. And so basically this is my trial account. So from tomorrow, I will create a trial account for, I mean, commonly for participants. And there I give the examples, and I mean anybody can access. And from the next, I mean, when the very second day, I would expect you to at least to create your trail account on your own. And so that that's where, based on your interest, if everybody has their own trail account, at least they can at least, if they're based on their interest, they can go through the existing standard interfaces. And this is how the monitoring looks like. So like in the next session, I'm going to cover like each and every uh, option here, like where we'll save the certificates, and where we store the keys, and where we show the authentication details, and where all we can track, and how many types of modes we have, and ways to test an iflow. So these things I'm gonna cover in the coming session, guys. Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, Bala.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much done from my end. And like post this session, like you can reach out to Subbu for like this course content. You can verify like with I mean with any other, like if at all you want anything missed. So like whoever gonna be part of the session, right? Based on the like I mean everybody like has to be very quick and adaptive and move along with our current scenarios. So if it required, I would add such things which if really feel like I have missed, so I would add to the course content as well. And as I mentioned, the time criteria, it would be between 1 hour to 1.5 hour, and that too based on everybody's time, so everybody's time is valuable. So yeah. So I think yeah, thank you guys, and so I hope you are doing
Balram, one
good.
question.
Yeah, yeah,
What are the
please.
certification levels here? For this one?
So I mean, you mean to say like CPA, is it?
Yeah, CP. Yes.
So like it depends like in the organize. I mean, it again depends upon the organization. Like if you are in an organization, like if you have done some certification, you can publish it like in your LinkedIn. And like in the LinkedIn also we have some certifications. And it is not that everybody has to be certified, but these days, right? So it has become a prerequisite, like better to do the like SAP certification. I mean, in order to make sure that like yes, we are yes, I am a certified. At least it ensures that like I myself felt during attending some interviews, like I was asked like, have you certified? So I was like, I didn't got a chance to look over those things. But as I'm joining some new organization, so I have some time now. So I do want to do some certification, but I want to do it as part of my new organization and publish it, guys.
No, no. For developer, which level of certification is required? I mean, like for Azure DevOps, if you see Azure 900, Azure 204 is there, like so, like that.
That is with the different versions. I do got your point. So like we have some Azure, the different versions in a cloud. It is not like that. Like Amazon Workspace also, like it is I mean if there will be some new features added, nothing new, but it is as per the organization or such cases. Like we don't have that I have done this version of it and I have done this version of it. Like this is always getting updated. CPI, it is not like PIPO, like I have done single stack version certification. And I have done a dual stack certification. So as it is keep on getting updated. So if you have the Azure version, like one or each and them are independent, like 700, 500, what you are saying.
Also, what about the calls in the market right now?
So right now, so as being a 5 years experience, I do get around some like 3 calls a day. So that way again, based on the like the criteria that you have mentioned, like how soon you can join, and based on the, so right now the market is like basically frozen for January and February. But it is very, I feel sometimes like that like still I do get the calls in this. If you take in the other domains, right? I have friends in other domains also, like testing and like other domains, like calls are not that pretty much. So but if it is the CPA, at least if it is not with the major organization, like reputed organizations, at least you do get call from the contract to hire, or like most, as we are consultants. So most of the calls we do get the from the third party organizations, and based on our past experience, we do get the calls from the named organizations. So like once you are got into the this background, and so like once you are cope up, I mean once you are able to cope up yourself, and once you have become a strong in this domain, right? So you can clear interviews on your own, to like if once you have got some pretty good experience, after keeping some 3 years, right? So you can get calls from good organizations also. So I will tell like where all like CPI is there, like in Capgemini and in Accenture. So this is where we have CPI widely used. And so as I mentioned, these organizations, they usually, so if you want to buy a resource from outside market, CPI, like it is almost like you. So what they are doing, right? So they are training freshers. But like a fresher, what I mean, a fresher is a fresher anyways. I mean, he may not know the actual business requirement, and he might not have the actual experience. And though we can train it, so I mean, it experience is what that teaches you. And so that's how we grow in any tool that we are learning and practice also. So if you are having already experience, I mean, I mean, each of you, like if you have some experience in the past, so like you can keep it, if someone from PIPO background, it is a very added advantage to them. So if you have some 4 years of experience, and completely into PIPO, you can keep the experience as 3 years in PIPO, or 2.5 years in PIPO, and 1 year in CPI. Like you do get calls. And like that's where like a person who is sitting in the panel, if that participant has, I mean, both the knowledge, and if he thinks that he would be able to deal with our clients, or like his based on his abilities, so that's how a person would be hired. And I was like, right, so basically, like first 2 years in my organization, I have worked with SAP BODS. Basically, it's a premise version. I mean, whatever I am working now, it is a middleware. That is basically a development tool. But still, I have got some interest. In the 2 years, I didn't got the development opportunity. Like I was into BODS support, and so which is now called as CPI DS. So based on my interest, so I have learned this from one of my friend who is into PIPO background. He has suggested me. So in the next 10 to 15 years, you no need to worry about this domain. So that's where I have started. And that's where I have trained myself, cope up myself. And so I have joined Infosys. And so been in Capgemini now. And moving to my next organization in 1 or 2 months.
Balaram, you will use any language in the mapping level? I mean, if it is not feasible in the graphical, which language you will use to execute that one?
So like we use I mean in if we are not able to achieve based on the existing functions, or existing arithmetic or those functions, so we'll try to
Okay.
achieve that using Groovy. That's where like everybody, I mean, is expecting Groovy also. That person should have at least some Groovy knowledge, at least to get started. So that's where saving the payload or making changes to the incoming payload. So on such, at least on such cases, we can meet that use case. So we have some knowledge at least. Like how you deal with the UDFs, like we can Google it, and we can test in the our dev environment in terms of in case of PIP.
So what
So
about
yeah,
adapters?
yeah. Sorry, Sukesh, or something asking.
Adapters which are not in the list if I want to connect to SharePoint. So how we can achieve?
So I will share you some standard SAP blog, or based on the material that I do have. So it could help you out. And also with that information, you can just once quickly have a Teams conversation with the basis team. And if they have done that configuration, side configuration earlier, so at least they would address you. So or at least the groups that I have mentioned, right? Like
Mm.
I have some two, I mean I have some 2 to 3 groups, so that like sometimes I usually follow and sometimes like how, I mean it is not that everybody has to have the same use case, right? It varies from application to application. So you can just ping over there, and if anybody has worked such scenario or such adapter, or they can at least address you. Or so I mean everybody wants to learn, right? Adopt to new things, and it's not like
Mm.
this is like I know something I'm not telling anyone. So it is like CPI, it's very latest, and so that's where everybody is new to it, because everybody is basically migrating to this, and mostly will be
Correct.
migrated by 2027.
Okay. Thanks for that. That's all.
I don't know whether Subbu is there or not. Yeah, Subbu, are you there? Yeah, okay, guys. I think I have pretty much done from my end, and so it's not like I mean I would cover only 3 parts. So I mean my first session. I mean in the very next session would be like next 2 sessions. I mean no, I may not like everybody cannot cover the trial account, right? But my pre-request criteria is like everybody should have their own trial account, and so that at least they can get started. So that's where I mean that's how I have trained. So that's how like I make sure like I address someone like who is learning from me.
So how many hours or how many days this will go on, this course?
So actually I'm planning to close it within like 35 days, so covering like 1 1.5 hour, like or between 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes, and giving some in between, like giving some examples, and in between assigning you something to test you out. So that takes some additional time along with that. So yeah.
Any real
And
time
also,
scenarios can we
yes,
expect?
so real time scenarios you can expect from day 19th day, you can expect. So first thing is like I would cover in the first day, I would cover, I mean first 2 days I would make you create a trail account, and later on like as I have covered few description already. So in the next 2 days I will cover the palette functions, and then like how, like why, what all things we need in order to like connect to a source system, what all the prerequisites that we require and we need to ask to someone. And so those things, and also after that so we'll go one by one. So basically accessing the tray designer window, and how to create the flows, and some, I mean I will go one by one, like adapters, like one day one adapter, or one day one configuration, one scenario with one example, and few of the questions, I mean few of the interview questions that are widely asked for such scenario, and also the like errors that are the other issues related to that adapter. So basically, these are the things I gonna cover, and so each and every palette function, and the types of calls, and how to maintain the like how to do the export from one environment to other environment, and what
Balram,
else? Yeah,
if
hello.
required, will you able to provide the job support?
I mean, I mean, I will try to, but at least I will try to address you, or like at least I will share you like contacts like that I have. So because like I mean, though I mean what I mean to say, like I am going a kind of like some big role to my next organization. So it was like they do have some expectations, right? So like more
Mm.
expectations from me. So that's where like I will at least from my side I will address you, and like or at least I will share you the contacts that I have, so which I am working with from the past, so they can help you out, Sukesh.
Okay.
So Jilani, so do you have any questions? You're laughing in between. So feel free to
No,
ask.
no, no,
Okay.
no, no questions.
So that's all, guys. I don't know whether I have already addressed Subbu. So, but still, I don't know whether he is there or not. So you can reach out to Subbu and yeah, happy New Year in advance. And so after you having, have a word with Subbu and like based on the timing. So it is based on like on my convenient timings. It is as I mentioned earlier. So everybody's time is valuable. So from the next session, like we'll plan to start from Monday or Tuesday. So that's where we are into New Year, right? So have yeah, just think twice and like just see the course content and compare it with others or like whatever you want. So based on your interest and so yeah. So thank you guys and thanks for your time and so that's all from my side and. Yeah, thank you, Subbu. So I don't know whether you are there or not. Okay, then if you have any like doubts, you can ask to Subbu. So in the next session, like I will address you out and like you will share my details also. Thank you guys and yeah, bye. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, thank you all. Bye.